You think Dirty Dancing, Havana Nights was just a quick cash-in? What's up? It's Titan 007. Today we're diving into 30 lesser-known facts about Dirty Dancing, Havana Nights, and I'll stack on some grounded, real-world details at the end so you leave with the full picture. No fluff. Let's roll. Fact 1. It didn't start as a Dirty Dancing movie. The first script, Cuba Mine, was a straight political drama by Peter Sagal. Fact 2. The original story followed a young American woman in Havana who falls for a local revolutionary against the backdrop of the Cuban Revolution. Fact 3. Development hell. The script was commissioned in the early 90s and sat for about a decade. Fact 4. Producer. Harvey Weinstein pushed to retool it into a Dirty Dancing follow-up. Fact 5. According to Sagal, not a single line of his dialogue made it to screen. Only the bones of the premise remained. Fact 6. The film is loosely based on producer JoAnn Jansen's teenage years in late 1950s Havana. Fact 7. She was an American teen living in Cuba in 1958, right before the revolution kicked off. Fact 8. Jansen's real romance with a young Cuban inspired the Katie Javier love story. Fact 9. Lead actress Romola Garai has said she faced heavy pressure from producers Weinstein included to lose weight. She resisted, arguing the curvier 1950s look was authentic. Fact 10. Garai's experience later became an early public allegation against Weinstein's behavior. Fact 11. Garai, who plays American Katie Miller, is actually British. Fact 12. Diego Luna, who plays Javier, was fresh off Why Da Mama Tambiness was one of his early English language leads. Fact 13. January Jones appears as Eve years before becoming Betty Draper in Mad Men. Fact 14. John Slattery plays Katie's father. Yes, the future Mad Men reunion is right here. Fact 15. They didn't shoot in Cuba. Because of the U.S. embargo, production moved to Puerto Rico, with Old San Juan doubling for Havana. Fact 16. The team rebuilt 1950s Havana vibes on Puerto Rican streets and locations, rolling in classic American cars as era symbols. Fact 17. Choreography came from JoAnn Jansen, same producer whose life inspired the movie. Fact 18. The dancing blends formal ballroom with street-level Cuban styles for a distinct flavor versus the original film. Fact 19. Patrick Swayze's cameo as a dance instructor wasn't in early drafts. It was added to bridge this film to the '87 classic. Fact 20. It's not truly a prequel or sequel, more like a reimagining of the original's themes in a new setting. Fact 21. There's a stand up for her beat that echoes Nobody Puts Baby in a Corner. Fact 22. Core dynamic remains. Privileged girl, working class dancer, forbidden romance. Fact 23. And yes, there's a climactic lift, but it's not a carbon copy. Fact 24. At the box office, it underperformed compared to the 1987 phenomenon. Fact 25. Over time, it gathered a small cult following for its music and choreography. Fact 26. The soundtrack mixes Latin tracks with contemporary artists leaning Latin. Fact 27. Political undertones survived, protests, class tension, and unrest still thread the background. Fact 28. The classic cars aren't just pretty there. Visual shorthand for America's footprint in 50s Havana. Fact 29. The movement vocabulary leans more Cuban, Latin than the original's mambo-centric showcase. Fact 30. Swayze's presence functions as a soft handoff between eras nostalgia, but with a different rhythm. Bonus 1. Release specifics. U.S. date February 27, 2004. Rated PG-13. Runtime 86 minutes. Directed by Guy Ferlin. Bonus 2. Money side. About $25 million budget. Around $27.7 million worldwide, basically break even at best. Bonus 3. Distribution picture. Released in the U.S. by Lionsgate Films, with Miramax overseas involvement in various markets after corporate shakeups. Bonus 4. Wear It. Really filmed Old San Juan and Ponce, Puerto Rico, stood in for Havana. Some sequences shot at well-known local landmarks. Bonus 5. Why Not Cuba? The U.S. embargo made a Havana shoot a non-starter for a Hollywood production at the time. Bonus 6. Critics often praised the period look, vibrant streets, swarms of 50s cars even when they didn't love the plot. Bonus 7. Official writing credit. Story by Peter Sagal and Kate Gunzinger. Screenplay by Victoria Arch and Boaz Yakin. Bonus 8. Swayze's cameo role is an unnamed dance instructor, pure connective tissue for fans. Bonus 9. Cast dance prep included a boot camp run by JoAnn Jansen. The lock in the movement vocabulary before cameras roll. Bonus 10. Composer. Hyder. Pereira later known for big animated franchises. Bonus 11. Soundtrack legacy. Wyclef Jean's Dance Like This. From this film later evolved into Shakira's Hips Don't Lie, 2006. Bonus 12. Tracklist vibe. Names like Black Eyed Peas, Christina Aguilera, Santana, Mia, Orisha's mixed with traditional Latin cuts. Bonus 13. Fun casting. Note: January Jones and John Slattery share scenes here before reuniting in Mad Men. Bonus 14. Reception snapshot. Reviews lean mixed to negative, but the dancing and production design drew consistent praise. Bonus 15. Documented on-set power issues. Romola Garai has publicly discussed harassment and body-shaming pressures tied to Weinstein. Separate testimony from a dancer later alleged misconduct during the Puerto Rico shoot. These are reported allegations and court testimonies. Correction: the 1987 Dirty Dancing was choreographed by Kenny Ortega, not JoAnn Jansen. For Havana Nights, JoAnn Jansen handled choreography and even danced a brief duet with Patrick Swayze in the film. So yeah, beneath the spins and lifts, Havana Nights is a remix of a political drama, a personal memoir, and a studio-era compromise, all dressed in 1950s sparkle. If you learned something new, drop a comment with your favorite fact. I'm Titan 007. See you in the next deep dive.